All right. So now I'm going to explain those custom settings that we went over, just kind of glossed over in the first video. So to get back there, click on Setup, Develop, Custom Settings. And you want to manage your custom settings. Now you've already got some settings in here, so let's talk about what each one of these mean. When we talk about how many, this number field here, what this refers to is how many leads, how many accounts, and how many contacts do we want to have maximum show up on any one given map. I think it's a good idea to keep this number fairly low. Otherwise, the map is just going to be filled with way too many pinpoints on there, and it's going to be really hard to use. And I've made this a setting. You guys can up it, you can lower it. It's completely up to you. I think somewhere around 30 is a pretty good number, but again, feel free to change that. Don't go too high. I definitely don't recommend going anything at all over 200. So I would say 30 to 50 is pretty reasonable. Much lower, much higher, maybe a little constricting. Then I have these checkbox here for leads, contacts, and accounts. Some of your organizations out there may not want to map contacts at all, or maybe you don't want to map accounts at all, or leads. So that checkbox at a very global level says leads will not be mapped. So don't bother locating them, don't search for them on maps. And if that's the case, if you're gonna check or uncheck that box, it may be a good idea to not put the fields on your page layout. If you don't want people to map leads, well, don't add the buttons and don't add the fields to the page layout. So it's just a very easy way to remove that portion of the mapping functionality. Then we have accuracy. Well, so Google, when they locate an account, I give them an address, 1 Market Street in San Francisco. They return a latitude, longitude for me, something like 32, 33, whatever. They also return an accuracy. How accurate does Google feel their particular latitude, longitude is for the address you gave them? The lower the number, the less sure Google is on the accuracy of that location. So when you look at this help text, the higher the number, the more accurate you need Google to be, the more sure you need Google to be before we allow this location to be mapped. For example, if Google returned an accuracy of 1, all that would mean is Google's only really sure of the country this address is in. So it's somewhere in the United States or somewhere in Brazil. That's all we got. Well, is that really something you need on a map? Is that really going to be beneficial? 9 is very, very accurate. 9 is Google is absolutely sure of the specific building that address refers to. I really recommend 7. I think 7 is relaxed enough that you're going to get a pretty good number of located accounts, but not so relaxed that when you try to drive there, you might be off. If you notice that you're getting a lot of problem with address errors on your leads or accounts or contacts, you may want to relax these a little bit more or try cleaning up your address data, but the choice is there for you to choose. This Google key, this is the one we put in together, but this is what authenticates you to use Google services. They are providing you with the map and the geolocation functionality. So, how many records do you want to have show up? How many of each record do you want to have show up? Are we mapping leads, contacts, and accounts? And how accurate do you need Google to be before we accept that geolocation?